Hey guys, it's Flynn again. I'm here with another video in my series on brief explanations on new systems in Civ 7. In this video, we are going to talk about generals, admirals, and Air Force commanders, squadron commanders. This is a new system in Civ 7, and it's another one that, surprise, surprise, I really enjoy. I think it's a huge hit. Not having to deal with your warrior from turn 1 dying in turn 400 and you just being sad about it. So, in this save, I've loaded up as Xerxes. Started as Persia, went Mongols, and now I'm Qing. Chinese variant, I believe. So, without further ado, let's go into my generals, admirals, and Air Force leaders. They're pretty powerful because I've been fighting wars the whole game, as you can tell. In the Exploration Age, we kind of ignored the distant lands and just conquered our home continent. And I did win this game by developing nuclear weapons. So, without further ado, here's my army commanders. This guy's level 11, which is pretty high. Again, super important to farm these guys' experience points. So, here's the promotion tab. Now, all the leaders have this. They start at 0 unless you have a specific civilization bonus or leader bonus. Some of them start with more or less perks. So, we've got 5 different categories for the land commanders: Bastion, Assault, Logistics, Maneuver, and Leadership. Now, it is really important that you pick one of these trees and focus down them, because at the bottom of each tree, you get one of these special commendations, which are super powerful bonuses. They can basically offset the deity penalty to +8 to all the AI's attacks with some of these bonuses in here. So, Bastion. This one focuses on defensive bonuses. I haven't really picked this one at all in any of my things, because while the bonuses are good, there's just better stuff elsewhere, in my opinion. Now, there can be a really interesting playstyle if you're playing a more defensive game focusing on culture or science, and you can just hold the line really strong, which is great. I just don't favor it. You're always going to lose on defense eventually. It's better to attack. So that brings us over to the assault one. This is critical. Initiative is the most important ability, I think, in the game right now for combat. It lets you do some movement shenanigans where you pack in to your general and then unpack from your general out the other side. Basically, you've got your leader, you've got these guys packed inside of it. With initiative, I can take this guy, I can leave the army with him out this tile, and now he can fight. Without that promotion, he would just be stuck there this turn. You can also do fun things like this guy, not in my army. He can pack into it, because there's a free spot now. I can go into the army, pick him, and now he can swing out here. That's a 3 movement swing through terrain that sucks with a unit that can now fight and move out the other side. This is really good on siege stuff with short movement. So that's why I really like that ability off the rip. The other abilities down this tree are just basically more combat strength. They're good, but not game breaking. They're passive bonuses that you're never really going to notice. And I really don't like this advancement, but you need it. First strike is good, but it only applies the first time. Except for range units. Range units will always get this. This is powerful for any range stuff you might get. And some cavalry units count as ranged, and some infantry units count as ranged for shooting abilities based off certain civs. So if you're seeing it only applies to infantry and cavalry, there are some of those units that can shoot. So get to the bottom of this tree. I like to take this first, +5 combat strength, and the command radius. Huge. Alright, moving on to logistics. We've got a whole bunch of abilities here that are all pretty good situationally. I like to pick this one, 15 production towards training land units. It gives your general something to do during peacetime. This one, 6 gold at the end of the game, because that's how many guys you can have packed in here. Not a huge deal. As you can see, I'm making 1,236 gold a turn, so 6 gold, oh, whatever. This is the real reason I love logistics. +2 units and faster reinforcements for this commander. So at the start, generals can only pack in 4 guys. 6 is really beneficial. And then faster reinforcements, one of the things they've added in Civ, is whenever you are fighting way over here, ooh, fighting over here, I built the unit way back in my capital. In 6, I would have to march this thing the whole way over here, and it would take forever, I'd forget about him. Now, I can select a dude. If he's far enough away, let me see if I can find a guy that's eligible. Everyone's packed into an army. And there's the reinforce army. You click this, you go find a free leader. So this guy over here is free, that's why he's got a little green square. Click on him. And now that guy will show up there in 5 turns. 10 out of 10, no notes. Love that. And then you just take some more stuff in here. +5 healing, always good. I like field medic. Looting, trash. They need to buff looting. Never take this one. This one's better. And then survival training. That's great. Honestly, there's so much terrain, and the AI builds these monster cities. Like, from here to here is just straight urban tiles the whole way. So, that's great. And then it gets us to our second combination point, and I like the +1 command radius. Now, this one is a little bit misleading. It is good. I do like it. But at the moment, generals only seem to be getting experience points from people directly around them, not inside the whole command radius. Don't know if that's a bug or intended, but I still really like this one. Service is nice, but again, like, as soon as you fight, you lose all your movement. And there's so many other movement tricks you can do. It's not nearly as good. I've never used this one. It might be great. I just have never really felt the need to have my general do damage. And then I think this might actually be secretly OP. I just haven't bothered with it yet, because if I ever got a third point, it would go into this one. Okay, so moving on to maneuver. Sorry, we got distracted there for a little bit. Again, really good. Sometimes I'll go logistics for 2 and then maneuver for 1. +1 movement on land, ignore strain, movement restrictions when packed. This is amazing, especially before you get railroads. You got your general, you've got 6 guys inside of it. It would take forever to cross the map. But with maneuver, it's quicker, and you ignore terrain restrictions. Flanking bonuses. Flanking is a mechanic they've introduced in Civ 7, where if I have a guy fight on this axis, and a guy fight on this axis, I get bonuses to that second attack. It really slaps, especially when paired with other stuff, like the +5 bonus, and then the first strike, and cavalry. So, like, you can attack with an infantry unit, not very good, and then swing in with the cavalry on the side with this bonus and get massive bonuses to damage. Again, ignoring terrain restrictions, always great. This is too situational for me. Like, I do some amphibious stuff, but it's not worth spending the point, especially when this exists. And area denial, it's not the worst. I'm gonna take it to get the commendation. Leadership, never really mess with this either. +5% yields, great. Like, I should take this. This is also great. Like, these are all good, it's just there's better stuff. This would be the 4th tree, I suppose. Recovery time, when your generals get killed, they recover, they don't go away. They're immortal, but they take some turns to recover. 50% reduction to that would be good, but try not to get them killed anyway. When I've gone into this, I've gone this one instead. Barrage. This is the best end of tree ability out of all of them that I've mentioned so far. It's just locked behind stuff that there's better stuff to get. For those of you that don't know, the barrage ability is your generals have special abilities if they have all their movement, so this guy might not have them highlighted yet, where you can tell everybody to focus fire, and all the eligible range units get +2 combat strength, and they all shoot. It saves you some clicks, and you get some bonus to attack. It's great. I use it even when I have a single target, or just one guy who can do it, because it adds combat strength. Same thing for melee. So that ability is really strong. Moving right along, not in there, in here. And that's the end of this tree. And this is the same thing just for the melee version. So that's the army commanders. You get them at the start of the Antiquity era. I always build 2 or 3, regardless, and then if I'm doing more attacking, I'll build even more. So now we're moving on to the Navy. We've got to go find it. Alright, my Navy's over here. Navy is much improved in general in Civ 7. Just, I've fought actual naval battles. It's been important. You can sail up navigable rivers and fight people. I took over this city with my Navy without the military. Like, one guy walked in to take it, but I did most of the killing with the Navy. So, with this tree, I really like bombardment. Like, its capstone ability is so good. I don't rush this, but I get this first every time. So you start off with just A, plus some combat strength. Awesome. I go with the one that gives me attacking land stuff. The bombarding fortified districts is okay as well. Secondary armaments would be good. It's more of a matter of +1 range distance for naval units it's too good. Like, you can kite the enemy with this, because if I can move, like, shoot from further away and then move, and you have to come up and hit me, and then I can back up one and shoot, it's just better. Gunfire support, this is why we took bombardment first. basically, if you're shooting something, 50% of the damage splashes all around it. So if you are shooting, like say for instance, I'm shooting this town right here. If I'm bombarding this square, I'm hitting this square and this square as well. So I'm essentially getting 2 attacks for the price of 1 because I'm hitting 2 things. And of course that just goes up exponentially. If they had fortified everything, it's so good. You can just annihilate entire fleets, because usually they're stacked up like this. Like if I was fighting this fleet and I shot this tile, all of these guys would get hit and take 50% of the damage. Too good. And then these are the same commendations. +1 command radius, +5 combat strength. It's just awesome. Engagement focuses on fighting other navies. I don't take this one because I'll be honest, every time I fought the AI's navy, even though it does actually make a navy, which is great, I don't really need it. Like, these bonuses do enough that this is irrelevant. Logistics, same concept as land. 50% protection. Training naval units gives something to do when they're stationed. And +2 guys packed inside. Woo! Could heal in enemy territory. I would take this. Maneuver, +1 movement. Same as the line. We're going to see a lot of the same thing as the lines. Flanking bonuses, awesome. +3 combat strength. Woo! I don't really go for the defensive ones. I probably should at some point, but whatever. Zone of control. And then leadership. Again, good, but just not good enough to compete with the stuff that you need to get. I would finish out logistics next if I got another point, and then maybe go into leadership afterwards. But these are all pretty similar, and bombardment's the only one that's remarkably different. And then last but not least, we've got our Air Force. That's not an Air Force. This. Here we go. Aerodrome. So, Air Forces are a little bit different. When you build the aerodrome tile improvement, it puts a general there. So this is stuck here forever, and it's where my airplanes will spawn. I got a promotion to get a free thing, and as you can see, these are shorter because you get them at the last stage. I wouldn't recommend putting too much. Like, you can use these if you're on defense, but the thing you want to do first is build the air commander, which is this guy over here. Squadron commander. So you build this just like you would build the admirals and the generals, and he is a mobile airfield. I build these, I pack my fighters into them immediately, and I use all my attacks from them because I can move him anywhere I want. So you click this button here. I like this button here. Establish airfield. Now I can move this airfield anywhere. It takes all the airplanes he has inside of him and moves over there. So I'm done bombing over here. Moved here. And the reason I focus most of my attacks on these guys is I can put them anywhere I want with enough turns to get there, and they'll level up. So why would I bother leveling up the tile improvement that's stuck there when I can have these guys? So let's go into these. I like to go raids first, because I am awful at building siege weapons. I just don't do it. I need to, and I don't. Raids helps me combat that in the modern era by focusing on bombers. Bombers are the siege artillery units of the sky. Raids is really good for that. And then I go this, carpet bombing, obliteration, splash damage. Same thing as the Navy. Awesome. They really want you to focus your squadron commanders on like a specific type of thing. Like raids is focused on your ground attack and your bombers. Dogfighting is focused on your fighters. I haven't actually run into a game where the AI's built an Air Force yet. I'm sure I will, and then fighters will matter. But that's what this tree is for. Logistics. Again, it'd be nice to add 2 more units in. So I would get this. All those are good. Basically, what I would do is I would get raids, and then I would go logistics. If I was doing a fighter base, I'd do dogfighting, and then logistics. And then air operations, that lets you airdrop infantry units. You can use paratroopers. That's cool. It's one of those things where it sounds awesome, but I would never use this because you want your guys to be with generals. So, meh. And then same commendations. I'd go order and then heal. So that's a brief explanation on squadron commanders. So overall in this video, we talked about all the generals, all the admirals, and all the squadron commanders. They're great. You never want to fight without them. You want to be feeding these guys XP the entire game. I cannot tell you how helpful it is to have a high level commander in late game fights. Yeah, I rush them. I always have my guys with them. I'm farming EXP with them. Like, I've started wars or not ended wars just so I can farm more experience points. It's definitely worth it and a thing you need to be doing. All right, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. I'm really closing in on affiliate, which seems like a really tiny goal, but hey, whenever you're starting, you're starting. Links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and good luck in your games of Civ today.